Hey, truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. We're about to preview the Week 2 NFL matchup, the Indianapolis Colts traveling to the Denver Broncos, and why the Colts should win and Andrew Luck should have a signature game. Before we get to that, I want to review the Week 1 matchup with the Colts and Lions, which had a very rigged and scripted ending, which was in part a big tribute to the death of Zurlon Tipton, the Colts running back, the only player to score in the Deflategate game against the Patriots, who died this offseason in Detroit, supposedly from suicide. His death was not a suicide. He was murdered by the gang of Freemasons and Zionist Jews who run the NFL, who rigged the sport, and who are ritualistic assholes. So let's review this game. Then we'll talk about what's coming up in Week 2 and the history of the Colts and Broncos, and why Andrew Luck faked his injury sitting out after his 55th game last year. So check this out. Week 1, the Colts lost to the Lions, who are coached by Jim Caldwell, the former coach of the Colts. If you saw my work from 3 years ago, I showed a curious pattern going on between the Lions and Colts. I thought that might end up being the Super Bowl matchup. The Colts ended up losing in Deflategate. The Lions ended up losing on the road in Dallas right after it came back from commercial break, and they changed the sun into the Star of David, something I have a video on. You can go back and see it. It's the Zionist Jews who run the NFL, who run media, who mock you. They put their symbolism before your eyes all the time and expect you not to see it. So anyhow, this game finished 39-35, and the 39th points came on a safety that was very purposeful, all part of the scripted game. 39 is the number of books in the Old Testament that the Zionist Jews go by. Andrew Luck, a player with a life lesson number of 39. This game was really all a big ritual for Andrew Luck, as was the death of Zurlon Tipton, which we'll get to. The total sum was 74 points. Masonic equals 74. Jewish 74. It's the reflection of 47. Luck equals 47. Special number to the NFL that had its first Super Bowl in the 47th season. Notice that Andrew Luck had 47 passing attempts on the season, or on the game, 47 on the game. This will be the year of Super Bowl 51, the 47th Super Bowl of the modern era, hosted in Houston, where Andrew Luck played his high school ball, where his father was the quarterback for the Oilers. Oliver Luck and Pythagorean gematria sums to 47. Luck the big way, 47. Notice that Stafford had 39 attempts on the game, like the score they won with. Tributes. Here's the gematria of Luck and Oliver Luck. What made my jaw hit the floor at the end of the game, even though I'm aware of this and I know this stuff happens, it still just blows my mind all the time. It's just amazing how they sync this stuff up. Detroit in gematria sums to 37, and Andrew Luck and the Colts took the lead with 37 seconds left. Zurlon Tipton, who died in Detroit, wore the number 37. The number 37 is the 12th prime number. Andrew Luck wears 12. You know, just the other year I predicted there'd be the Triple Crown because it was a 37-year gap, and it would be the 12th Triple Crown winner ever. American Pharaoh did become the Triple Crown winner that year. So 37 and 12, these numbers come back to Andrew Luck. With 30 seconds left in the very rigged NFL, which is so ridiculous to watch and just so stupid, and I don't know how anyone falls for it, you know, a game should be over if there's 37 seconds left. In the NFL, teams don't make it down the field to score in 37 seconds, except for they do in the NFL because it's a rigged joke. So anyway, Detroit goes down the ball with no time left, or goes down the field with no time left and kicks the field goal to put themselves up 37-35. And then to make sure the score got to 74 with the 39-point tribute for the Zionist Jews, the purposeful safety in the end of the end zone. And we'll talk more about that safety in just a second. Zurlon Tipton, number 37, the Colts running back, the only player to score in Deflategate, died June 28th. This game came 75 days later. Indianapolis Colts equals 75. The Indianapolis Colts go down in Detroit by the numbers. If you count the full span of days, it was 76 days. Safety in Jewish gematria sums to 76. Or excuse me, in English, simple English gematria, 76 days of safety. He died with a gun. They said it was an accidental shooting. First they said suicide, then they said accident. If it was an accident, he should have had his safety on, right? I think this is really all part of the sick joke. Game ends with a ridiculous safety in the end zone. It's just so stupid, people. I don't know how you don't see through it. So here's Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck, born September 12th, 1989. Just turned 27 years old the day after the game. He just turned 27. He was 26 when the game was played. The day he's born is a date with 129 numerology. He's born on September 12th, 12/9, 129 numerology. The word America equals 129 in Jewish gematria. NFL America's game. Again, born on a date with a life lesson number of 39. Russell Wilson has a life lesson number of 39. Last year on his birthday, they defeated the Steelers with 39 points. The league is a joke. So after the game, it was the 42nd game all-time between the two teams. The Colts have won 21 of those games. The Lions have now won 19. They've also tied 2. And the game was on September 11th. That's the day in history that Johnny Unitas died. He died on the 1-year anniversary of September 11th. Unitas wore the number 19. Unitas equals 21. 19, 21. You see what's going on here? These are all tributes. Tributes in the numbers. September 11th, 14-year anniversary of his death. If you write out 14, it has the same gematria as Super Bowl, which is 41. Colts won Super Bowl 41. Tony Dungy had to sacrifice his son by the numbers to win that Super Bowl. Got a video on that if you've never seen it. His full name, John Constantine Unitas, gematria of 85, like National Football League. Special number to the league, a league that's always been run by the numbers. And notice he was born on May 7th, 5/7 or 7/5 like Indianapolis Colts. 5/7 is a lot like 57. When you write out 57 as a word, it sums to the same thing as championship, the same thing as Super Bowl. Jim Caldwell, who defeated them, also has this gematria of 41, and the Colts remained stuck. The Colts and Lions met having played 41 games before this one. Jim Caldwell came out on top, former Colts coach. From his birthday to the date of the game was 239 days. Very special number to the Zionist Jews who run the league. Torah equals 239, their Jewish holy book. Right now the flag is 239 years old in this country. There's all these football protests going on with the flag. Probably all part of the riddle. Here's Jim Caldwell's record. He's been with the Lions now. This is his 3rd season. Coached 3 years with the Colts. It was 2014 that there was these major parallels going on between the Lions and Colts. There was even an article written at the beginning of the season, which I caught later in the year, that speculated that the Super Bowl would be Colts and Lions that year. Didn't come out, but they were both quality playoff teams. Teams that had their seasons end by the numbers. So also with regards to the 39 and the 74, New York City's on the 74th meridian. New York equals 39. Every Super Bowl ever won by a New York team has been connected to the number 39. Have multiple videos on this. This year it's Super Bowl LI in NRG Stadium. NRG equals 39. That stadium's construction began March 9th or 3/9. LI, it's Super Bowl 50, abbreviated LI, the Roman numerals. L's the 12th letter. 1 + 2 is 3. I's the 9th. LI breaks down to 39. And since February, I've been saying, watch out for a repeat of the greatest game ever played in this year's Super Bowl, Super Bowl 51. It very well could happen. That would be Colts and Giants. The Lions-Colts game could be, in truth, a tribute to the Colts and where they might end up by the end of the year, back in Andrew Luck's football town, Houston. The Giants also have a brand new coach, 39 years old, born July 9th, 9/7. This is the 97th year of the NFL. He has birth numerology corresponding with the gematria of greatest game ever played. Or no, I take that back. He was hired January 14th of this year, a date with 51 numerology. It's the year Super Bowl 51. McAdoo equals 51. The greatest game ever played equals 114. Hired on January 14th, 114. So anyway, let's get to what's going on here. Review some things about the death of Zurlon Tipton also real quick. Zurlon Tipton, number 37. Colts went up with 37 seconds left, but then fell behind with 37 points to the Lions. Michigan has that same gematria as sacrifice. NYG for New York Giants also equals 46. They won Super Bowl 46. They lost their player Gary Jeter in the offseason, dead 46 days after his birthday. A lot of ritual sacrifices if you pay attention. I even documented this, before the game was played. I said, we'll see what happens between the Lions and Colts, but no doubt this death connected to that opening of the year game. From the day Zurlon Tipton died until the date of the upcoming Super Bowl, 223 days, Masonic 223, the Synagogue of Satan 223, that's the name for the false Jews who rule the NFL. The name comes from Revelation in the Bible, the book of prophecy. For a little more 37, the Ravens and Colts played this preseason. 37 combined points. Ravens won with 19. We just talked about that number. The Hall of Fame game was canceled this year that Luck was supposed to play in. That was 37 days before his birthday. The date of this game was also a date with a life lesson number of 37. When you write out 37, it sums to 57, that Super Bowl number. So, okay, let's get to the main event. Colts at the Broncos. And this will be the 23rd matchup between the two teams. 83 is the 23rd prime number. Football equals 83. Colorado equals 83. Peyton Manning, born on the 83rd day of the year, finished his career at age 39. Eli Manning, his brother in New York. Last time Peyton won a Super Bowl, Eli won the next year. Anyhow, 23rd game all time between these two teams in Colorado. Last year, I remember when the Broncos scored against the Patriots in the AFC Championship, the stat came up, first touchdown in 23 drives for the Broncos. So this game this Sunday between the Broncos and Colts, and let me remind you about the history between the Broncos and Colts. John Elway was drafted by the Baltimore Colts when the Colts were still in Baltimore. He was traded to the Denver Broncos. When he was drafted number 1 overall out of Stanford. Andrew Luck was drafted number 1 overall out of Stanford by the Indianapolis Colts. Because of that, Peyton Manning, who was on the Colts, got sent to play for John Elway and the Denver Broncos. Last year, Denver, the team was 55 years old, and John Elway was 55 years old. They'd lost in Super Bowl 24 to the 49ers, 55-10. Last year, the 49ers hosted the Super Bowl and the Broncos won with 24 points. It was Elway who lost in Super Bowl 24. Last year, he got to be the beneficiary of the rigged Super Bowl, winning it at age 55. And as part of the tribute, they had Andrew Luck fake an injury and sit out after he'd played 55 games. The reason that is because the way the season's scheduled this year. We're going to talk about what's so special about Andrew Luck's game coming up this Sunday against the Broncos. But look at this. September 18th, 2016, a date with 63 numerology. If you count every number up to 63, 1 plus 2 plus 3 up to 63, it sums to 2016 like the year we're in. This will be Andrew Luck's 63rd game all time if you count his playoff games. It'll be his 57th game in the regular season, which we'll get to. It's also a date with a life lesson number 36. If Luck and the Colts win, it will be his 36th regular season win. Luck just turned 27 years old. This is his first game after turning 27. The date has 27 numerology. It's also a date with 43 numerology. The word champion equals 43. And Andrew Luck and the Colts very well could be the AFC champions this year. Andrew Luck equals 112. Horseshoe equals 112. Houston equals 112. A lot lines up for Luck and the Colts. It's amazing how many people after the Week 1 loss trolled my channel. Do you guys remember that the Colts were 0-2 the year they went to the AFC Championship? You NFL fans who think a team loses in the first week means it's over for them, you guys are truly fucking retarded. I don't even watch the sport. I know that if you lose in Week 1, it doesn't mean jack shit. Too many fucking retards in this nation that need to learn to shut the fuck up. Okay. So here's Andrew Luck's current record. 56 regular season games, 35 wins, 21 losses. Plus with his playoff games, he has 62 games under his belt, 38 wins, 24 losses. And look, If he wins tomorrow, we talked about 63 on the 63rd game on the 63 date numerology. If he wins tomorrow, it's going to be his 39th win. And I guarantee you that's happening. I hate to use the word guarantee. But, so much lines up for the Colts. I will be blown away if they do not win. Whenever you bet, there's a risk. But I'm telling you, things look good for the Broncos. Also, if you're following me this year, every single video I've made, my pick's been correct. So, doing pretty well here this year. Each day I learn more and it becomes easier to predict. From the Super Bowl to tomorrow's game is 32 weeks. NFL equals 32. 32 teams in the NFL. America 32. Denver 32. Broncos 32. You might think that that's favorable for the Broncos, but really I think it's all set up for Andrew Luck to take them. I think this season is scripted very much for Andrew Luck. Here's the Broncos versus Colts head-to-head record all time. The Broncos have won 12 times and lost 10, not counting the playoffs. If you count the playoffs, they've played each other 25 times, and the Colts have won 13 times, and the Broncos 12. The Colts have won all 3 times in the playoffs. So here's what else is interesting. For tomorrow, it's going to be Chuck Pagano's 66th game all time. Chuck Pagano comes into the game with 65 games under his belt, 41 wins, 24 losses. He very well should get his 42nd win in his 66th game. NFL and Jewish Gematria 66, the first Super Bowl at the end of the 66th season. Andrew Austin Luck in Gematria sums to 57. It'll be his 57th game tomorrow. Regular season, the Denver Broncos in their 57th season. If you do the S exception, his name also sums to 66, the NFL number. Andrew Austin Luck, the big way equals 192, like NFL and English Gematria. Talk about born and bred to be. So many Manchurian athletes in the world of sports. It's what their lives were all about. Created to do what they do, participate in rigged football. If Luck throws a touchdown pass tomorrow, Luck's first touchdown pass tomorrow is going to be his 106th. 106th, the number of prophecy. Talked about those numbers for Eli Manning. Eli Manning got his 106th career win to start the season, his 98th in the regular season. Eli Manning equals 98, prophet equals 98, prophecy 106. A lot of things lining up for Luck and Eli Manning, who are the 2 highest paid players in the league right now. With regards to 57, remember it has the same gematria as championship, the same gematria as Super Bowl. If you write out 37, it sums to 57. Andrew Luck's getting all these bizarre 37 tributes, even in the loss to the Lions. Here's the Broncos, their 57th season. They're 56 years old, 57th season. It's just like kind of when you're born. You're not 1 year old yet, but you're living the first year of your life. That's how the Broncos were 55 years old last year in their 56th season. Look at that. Broncos got their 23rd playoff win last year in the Super Bowl. 83, the 23rd prime. See how it's done? Colorado winning the Super Bowl. Football 83. John Elway drafted in 83. They say the greatest draft class ever. Tom Brady born on 8/3, just like a whole lot of other NFL quarterbacks. The entire Baltimore Ravens quarterback staff, all of their names sum to 83. I haven't decoded every single quarterback staff for every team, but there's just so much 83 in football, and at the quarterback position, it's a joke. So here's some more jokes. The owner of the Colts, Jim Irsay, currently 57 years old, born June 13th, 1959, born on a date with 97 numerology. This is the 97th year of the NFL. For the first game of the NFL season between the Broncos and Panthers, they kept going with the camera to the banner that the Broncos won the championship in 97, and that's why they did it. Jim Irsay in Gematria sums to 41, like Super Bowl, like the only Super Bowl the Colts won under his leadership. from his birthday to the game is 97 days. Got the 97 birth numerology, the 97 days. He bought Prince's guitar this year on the anniversary of Purple Rain. Prince died on the date with 41 numerology. Prince performed in Super Bowl 41 that the Colts won. It's 10 years later. There's the Denver Broncos, 97 champions, 97th season, kicking off the season, getting the first win on the Super Bowl anniversary with a missed field goal from the 50-yard line to conclude the game. Scripted to the point, to the hash mark, to the stat. Like I said, the whole game was about Trevor Siemian, number 13. 41, the 13th prime. Broncos win. Here's Chuck Pagano, too. Also currently 55 years old. 55 years old. Just like the big number last year for the Broncos and Colts and Andrew Luck sitting out with the fake injury. Remember, Peyton Manning came out after 322 pass attempts, 322, the number of the Masons. If you got Antonio Brown, I think Antonio Brown is going to set some sort of crazy NFL record on October 2nd, by the way. If I have time, I'll do a video about that. It'll be 84 days after his birthday. He wears number 84. The Steelers are in their 84th year. This league's a joke. And when you learn how to see the joke, you'll be making predictions like me. That's why I teach you guys for free. I'm not here for money. I'm here to wake you the fuck up. So there it is, Ritual murder, rigged games. Please, nobody leave a comment about how you're cheering for your Colts or your Broncos. I already know a lot of you are fucking retarded. I don't need to hear from any more of you. The point of these videos aren't to cheer for sports. It's amazing. It's amazing how many people watch my videos and leave the most retarded fucking comments. All right, Truth Seeker, until next time.